welcome to Doctor WHeasel, little part of the universe. This week we saw Clara take her first trip off-world. If we discount her other self baking souffles in a Dalek insane asylum. Yeah, I think we will for the time being. Now, before we journeyed to the titular rings, we once again saw the Doctor stalking around in Clara's past. Am I the only one who was a little bit creeped out by the strange man in the children's park bit? No, Doctor, not just you, but it was perfectly innocent, I think, on the Doctor's part. He's just trying to work out exactly who Clara is. Well, at least you had the sense to admonish him for it at the end. This continued focus on the companion and her childish incarnation just continues to reinforce the similarities between Clara and Amy, which I think is detrimental to her character development. I thought Clara was actually rather good this episode. She seemed to rise to the challenges of the story far more naturally than Amy did in The Beast Below. Funny you should mention that, because this story felt like it owed more than a little to the Beast. Mysterious space locale, monks chasing runaway children, and a gigantic space beast. I thought the old god was more like the Beast from the Satan pit. What? No, he was big and shaggy, and the old god was just some kind of giant space pumpkin. Actually, I thought it was kind of a wasted opportunity, revealing that the old god was just some kind of planet-sized creature. I was rather hoping, what with the pyramid and the ancient mummified grandfather, that we had no siren on our hand. Like Sutek the Destroyer? That's the fellow. You know, that would have been a nice nod to the original series. But no, we have a shouty masked fellow who just turns out to be some kind of cosmic alarm clock for Space Pumpkin!
Oh, Doctor WHeasel, I've got to take issue with you calling me a pumpkin. I'm clearly an ancient Lovecraftian entity from before the dawn of time.
Who just happens to have 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. Oh yeah, really alien. Excuse me while I check my sanity clause. Heaven knows I wish you would. Now, while the space pumpkin... Entity thing was a bit of a letdown, it wasn't the main problem with the adventure. What was it then, Doctor? It couldn't have been the smorgasbord of aliens in the rings arena. I think the effects crew deserve a round of applause. Oh, no, they were very great. Even the disfigured Hath the TARDIS crew sat next to. No, the big problem was once again the plotting. There were some nice ideas, and you know, for the first 20 minutes it was ticking along nicely, promising perhaps a dark conclusion. And then it descended into madcap japes about holding the door open, precious things, and yet another speech from the Doctor about far more exciting adventures that we never get to see. Matt did do a rather splendid turn with the speech, though. Oh, yes, indeed. That boy can make a silk purse out of a sour script any day. I just wish the writer had found a better way to defeat the space pumpkin than speechifying it to death. But the leaf, all those precious days Clara's mother never had, the infinity of the never was, that's what destroyed it. Yeah, but we all have things we never get to do, even when we're alive. Why does Clara's mum's magic leaf have the mystical juju to zap a god? If you'll pardon the pun, I thought it was a sappy and tired Deus Ex Machina solution yet again. True, it might be nice to see the Doctor showing some of his genius and catching his foe in a trap, rather than just ad-libbing for his life. Oh, and another thing. If this ancient old god was so smart, why didn't it just skip eating Clara and the Doctor's stories, eh? Well, I suppose it didn't see it coming. Didn't see it coming? They flipping telegraphed the whole thing, even told it what they were going to do. Look, Clara, you don't get to be an evil space pumpkin god thing older than time itself by falling for a trip that Scooby-Doo would see through. Calm down, Doctor. Think of your hearts. Oh, I'm sorry, my dear, but this story annoyed me so much, I almost went back in time to Pete Tyler Clara out of existence, so I wouldn't have to sit through it. I guess it's just as well we didn't address the gravity issues for the rings after the old god vanished. I mean, what would happen then? No! Stop it! I think we'd best go to guest reviewer Adric of Alzarius for this week's score. And while there were some nice performances from the stars, The Rings of Akhaten was a largely forgettable mid-season fluff. I give it 4 stars for mathematical excellence. Thanks, Adric, you're a peach. Okay, well, next time, Clara and the Doctor go down together on a 1980s submarine as the audience prays to Mark Gatiss to finally deliver us an ice-hot episode.